Hey, are you thinking about moving to Collingwood, Ontario, but you want to learn more about all the trails that we have in this area, hiking, biking, even snowmobiling for that matter, but there's so many trails in this area. And in this video, I'm going to take you on a bit of a computer map tour so I can actually show you the trail system on my computer. That way you can get to familiarize yourself with all the trails in our network. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn everything there is to know about living in Collingwood, Ontario, that Collingwood lifestyle, make sure you subscribe and tap the bell for notifications. That way you'll be the first to know everything that is happening here. My name's Kevin De Silva and I'm a local real estate agent here with Royal LePage Locations North. And I get calls all the time from people just like you that want to make that lifestyle change, that 4-season lifestyle change in Collingwood. So if that's you, reach out to me. All the ways you could do that are in the description box of this video, including a Zoom link where you can book a call directly on my calendar at a time that works for you. Now let's get on with our Collingwood Trails tour. All right, so let's dive into my computer and take a look at the Collingwood Trails map here. So over here, I'm going to zoom out a little bit here, but basically, or I'm going to zoom back in actually. So over here you have all the different trails. So there's a legend down here that says what kind of trails they are. Are they hard packed, or paved, or gravel, or mixed, or are they a snowmobile trail? There's actually some snowmobile trails, which are the blue ones that say OFSC. Right over here, you can see that. Okay, so those would be winter trails for snowmobiling, of course. But look how many trails there are in not that big of an area, right? So it's just so connected everywhere in all the Collingwood neighborhoods, from the east end right to the basically like the Blue Mountain Grey County border over here in Cranberry. So I'm going to go through some of the trails. I'm not going to go through all of them. As you can see, there's obviously tons, but yeah, we'll go through some of the main ones. So one of the main, I'm going to pull up the All Trails map right here because I'm going to flip between the All Trails one and that PDF just because you can kind of get a good sense on some of these. So I'm going to pull up the Georgian Trail. The Georgian Trail is one of the more popular ones for sure because it spans from Meaford to all the way to Collingwood. It's like 35 or 40 kilometers, about that. And it's a pretty straight trail and it's easy to go on. A lot of people bike it just because it's long and straight. You kind of just can bike between Meaford, Thornbury, Collingwood. And then get connected to some of the other trails. So yeah, you could see it here. See us. Oh, is that a lot? It says 33 kilometers. I'm pretty sure it's a little bit more than that, but I could be incorrect. But yeah, so 33 kilometers, 8 to 9 hours, and it's point to point, basically one end to another. It doesn't loop into each other, right? So that's here. We could look at some of the. Let's pull that up here. Let's pull up this map. So there you go. You could even see some of the elevation changes, but there it is from Meaford over here all the way to Collingwood. So anyways, that's the Georgian Trail. For you to get a sense of that, it's the Harbourview Path Trail, which you could see. Let me zoom in a little bit. The Harbourview Path Trail is right there. So basically it kind of loops around. You can see it loops between the water, and then there's like another trail just north of First Street that just kind of goes between all the tree streets on the north side of First. So that's like a fairly easy loop. It's not that big. It won't take you that long, hour or so. Says right here, hour to an hour and a half. So that's kind of I like that one just because it's short. I can, middle of my day or even on like a quick lunch break, I could just do half of it, just the waterfront side, just to look at the water and stuff. So that's a neat trail. Moving on, let me see the Collingwood Circuit. I kind of like this one too because it combines the train trail and the river trail. So you get like a nice long straightaway, and then you get to follow the river as well. So you start off and you see the bay, the harbor, the terminals, and then you go straight down the train trail. And if you continued on the train trail, by the way, I'll pull it up on the next one actually because it connects to Standard. I'll show you that next. But anyways, you can go halfway down the train trail and then kind of on the Collingwood Circuit and then loop around on the riverside, go through Sunset Park. That's a pretty nice trail too. And 2 to 2.5 hour trail if you were to do the whole thing. Here, I'll pull it up on a map so you can kind of see that. Yeah, so there it is over there, all the way around. And you could look through the photos of other people that have contributed photos to the all trail system, so you can kind of see what it looks like. Or you should just come up and go for a walk. Okay, it's not loading, so let's get out of that. Okay. Anyways, moving on. The train trail. So let me zoom out here because you can't see it get all the way to Stainer. The Stainer's all the way over here. So watch this. See? Look at that. 14 kilometers, but again, it's just point to point. It's a really long straightaway. Great bike ride. If you're starting in Collingwood and you want to go to Stainer and maybe go for a coffee in 1904 and some brunch or something like that, and then shoot back, you just had like a 28 kilometer, 28 kilometer bike ride, and very, very easy ride. Fairly straight and fairly flat. Let's moving on. Let me zoom back in here. The Whites Bay Trail. This one, let's do that. Oops. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. The Whites Bay Trail. I'm going to zoom into that because I like this one too. It's super short. It'll take you like half an hour to do it. But I like it because you go out to Hen and Chicken Island, and there's so many vantage points as you get closer to the end of the trail. You can, but obviously you see the terminals on one side, the Collingwood terminals. You see the Harbourfront. And on the other side, you start seeing the mountain, like Blue Mountain and stuff like that. So it's just a few different perspectives in there that I really, really like. And it's super short. Like half an hour, you could walk from one end to the other and back. So just kind of a quick one. If you're passing through Collingwood on your way to Blue Mountain or something, definitely check that one out. And then the Black Ash Trail. So the Black Ash Trail, I got to zoom back out to show you that. Right here. It gets you from like the Georgian Trail and the Harbourfront Trail near the water all the ways to the south end of Collingwood, where Georgian Meadows is, and even beyond that, actually. And then there's a Georgian Meadows Trail that loops into it too. So I'm going to go back to here where you can kind of you can see it pretty good here. So here's Black Ash Trail, and then there's Georgian Meadows Trail. So you could start seeing, actually on this map, it's probably even better because you can really start to see like how connected they are between neighborhoods. So, this being Georgian Meadows right over here, and then, connecting to the 6th Street Trail, which can get you over to High Street. And then when you're on the tree streets, even though it's not a marked trail for walking, but these are biking lanes. So they're still very walkable too, right? Walking the tree streets to connect you from other sides. Or you can continue the Black Ash Trail and continue on High Street and go to the newer section. And then over, oh yeah, I forgot about this side. Over on, I'm going to move my face here because it's in the way. Over on this side, all right, you got all the cranberry trails, the deer trail, the deer trail, the turkey trails. Like there's just a bunch of little ones. Basically, you can see the names there, but it makes up the George Christie nature trails. So that's really cool. Again, there's Georgian Trail going the long straightaway from Collingwood to Meaford, and then look at like the waterfront trails we were talking about, the Harbourview Trail, Millennium Park over here, where you're right at the terminals. This is where the terminals are right here, and then there's that train trail I was talking about that goes all the way to Stainer and then right to downtown Collingwood. And then there's I really like the river trail. I like this. I think the circuit one is everybody has a different level of how long they want to hike for. I like the quick ones on the waterfront, and I also like that loop, the circuit where you're on some of the train trail and then you're on the river too. It's just you get a few different perspectives in one walk, right? So I just think that's really, really neat. And again, I just want to point out like how intertwined it is with the neighborhoods, like all these little connector trails. I know they might mean nothing, but they're connecting bike lanes and neighborhoods, and it's so easy to get around. And that's why actually on the bottom of this map, I'm pretty sure I saw you could be closer than you think right here. See if I can point that out right here. You could be closer than you think. 15-minute walk or a 5-minute cycle. Like really you could be. It's so walkable in Collingwood. It's so walkable. So that's something to keep in mind as you're looking for homes, because there's a lot of homes for sale. People love Collingwood. It is a true four-season resort. It's got a super high quality of living. I think it was rated #1 from some study recently. I got to look up the details of that, but people really do love Collingwood. It really has something special. So yeah, Collingwood is a true four-season playground. People love Collingwood. People just like want to embrace everything it has, the four season, the trails, the intertwining of all the neighborhoods and the trails, and Blue Mountain being right there and the beach being on the other side in Wasaga, and there's just so much. But Collingwood is such a nice center point, and even for those those evening bike rides after work and stuff, or after school, it's so easy to get around on this trail system. So if you want to get a copy of this trail system, again, just shoot me a message. If you can find it online, great. It's right there. If you just Google Collingwood hiking trails, it'll come up. But if you can't find it, shoot me a message and I'll send it over. Yeah, this is just a high-level look at the Collingwood trail system. To experience it, you got to come over and you got to experience it for yourself. All right, I know that was short and sweet and just a map overview, but I hope you found that somewhat valuable. That All Trails app and is like really helpful, right? You can really get a sense of all the loops, the difficulties, the times, whether if they're loops or point to point or pointing back. But yeah, again, if this is your first time on the channel, make sure you subscribe, tap the bell for notifications so you'll be the first to know everything that's happening here. And until then, I'm looking forward to helping you make a smooth move to the four-season playground of Collingwood.